Holmes. I found it. Ready when you are.
I say there, has something happened?
Definitely. Would you mind moving back a few paces?
Not at all.
Thank you.
Perhaps I can find a doctor.
I'm a doctor. What's the matter with you?
I'm all right. I was thinking of you.
Why?
But aren't you ill?
Certainly not. I'm dead.
Well, I'm afraid I must be getting on.
Don't let me detain you. Stupid fellow.
Watson, come here.
Coming home.
Look at that, Watson.
What have you found, Holmes? Footprints?
Yes. A club-footed man, about 5'11", I should say. From the length of his stride. Do you observe anything singular about these footprints, Watson?
I can't say that I do.
Club-footed people invariably bring their full weight down on the toe. If you look closely, you'll observe that the weight of the man who made these footprints is normally balanced from toe to heel.
What do you make of that, Holmes?
Oh, just one more unnatural element in this rather peculiar case. The clubfoot must have some other compensating deformity to explain these footprints.
What? You think these are the footprints of a murderer?
It's possible. Yes. Yes, it's quite possible.
What, Holmes?
Well, a man standing just about here would command a view of the path. He might project some kind of weapon.
No other weapon's been found except Hunter's revolver.
It could easily have been retrieved in the excitement.
But what kind of weapon thrown from here could both strangle a man and crush his skull in?
If we knew that, my dear Watson, we'd be a great deal nearer to the solution of the crime. Look at that. Yes. Yes, that was torn from that tree. Perhaps by something hurtling past. The sap's not dry yet. That means it was torn off within the last few hours. Ah.
What have you found, Holmes? It's a watch fob. Looks like a rabbit's foot.
No, it's chinchilla. Unquestionably chinchilla.
Well, rabbit or chinchilla, what's it matter?
What? No, perhaps it doesn't matter at all, Watson. We'll see.
I've always thought those things in very poor taste. Fancy going about with a dead animal's foot dangling from your pocket.
Yes, and then losing it at the scene of the murder. Very careless.
She's in here, sir. Who is it?
It's Mr. Holmes.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, I'm so glad you're here. This may sound foolish to you, but after Mr. Hunter left, I went up to be with my brother. While I was with him, I heard
Yes?
the sound of music from the street. Strange music. It didn't begin and didn't end. It just went on and on.
What was it about the music that frightened you?
I heard it once before, Mr. Holmes. Only once, when I was a little girl in South America. The night my father was killed.
It's quite possible that under the circumstances, this impression was a hallucination.
This was no hallucination, Dr. Watson. Take my word for it.
Did you see who was playing?
I went to the window. There was a street beggar standing in front of the house. I could just see the outline of his figure. And then I became so frightened, I screamed
Yes,
and...
I don't wonder. You think you could remember that melody?
Remember it. Shall never forget it as long as I live.
Miss Brandon, I wish I could spare you this, but time is so important.
I understand. What do you want me to do?
It's not going to be easy.
Anything if it'll help you clear up my brother's death.
Do you think you could bear to repeat it for me?
I'll try. There's death in every note of it. Mr. Holmes, would you mind going now, please?
Yes, of course. You must try to get some sleep. It's been a terrible day for you. Thank you, Billy.
What's that, Mr. Holmes?
Yeah, that's a chinchilla foot, Billy.
Chinchilla?
Yeah, you know what a chinchilla is.
Yes, Mr. Holmes. It's a little animal that grows in South America, and its fur is very expensive.
Ah, you should remember that, Billy. It'll save you a lot of money when you grow up.
May I look at it, sir?
Yes, certainly, Billy.
Yeah.
Well, what do you make of it, Billy?
Lummy, I'd like to have one of these. They must bring you lots of luck.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, I bet in Chile or Bolivia they carry around a chinchilla's foot for good luck, the same as we carry a rabbit's foot.
You hear that, Watson?
My hearing is in no way impaired, thank you.
And you think that the man who lost this comes from Chile or Bolivia?
Yes, sir, because that's the only places chinchillas grow.
There, Watson. What do you say to that for a simple deduction?
I've listened to seashells that made better sense. Why do you waste your time like this, Holmes? Half the women in the world own chinchilla rats.
You exaggerate, Watson, and half the women in the world wish you didn't.
No, Dr. Watson. You see, they make the coats out of skins.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. And the only place you could get a chinchilla's foot will be where the chinchilla lives.
There, Billy, there's sixpence for you.
Allow me a tenner.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Billy. Thank you.
I don't know why you let that insufferable little brat come in here.
I was pulling your leg, Watson. Merely relaying to you through Billy certain observations which may or may not coincide significantly with what I found.
You found something?
I think so. I've identified the death music, Watson. The melody Miss Brandon played for us last night. It's an ancient Inca funeral dirge, still used by the Indians in the remote Chilean Andes as a chant for the dead.
What on earth has that got to do with Professor Moriarty? Or the Star of Delhi?
I wouldn't know, Watson. I really wouldn't know. Would you mind?
Inca funeral dirge?
Ah, how do you do, Doctor?
How are you, sir?
Holmes, how lucky to find you at home.
Sir Ronald. Well, won't you sit down?
Oh,
Here you
thank
are, sir.
Thanks. Oh, I hope I'm not interrupting you.
Oh, no.
But I'm very anxious to know, have you had any idea in connection with that note?
Note? Oh, I'm afraid I haven't had much time to think about it. After all, the Star of Delhi is not an immediate problem.
Oh, but it is. You will help me as you promised, won't you, Holmes? Imagine the scandal if anything should happen to a crown jewel.
Yes. When does it arrive?
Tomorrow night. I've had to arrange for delivery at 10 o'clock. Most inconvenient hour for everyone, of course. But I can't leave the jewel out of the vault overnight, you know. Once it arrives, it's technically in my custody.
Yes. Yes, I understand. What do you want me to do?
Well, could you possibly be at the tower tomorrow night at 10?
Yeah, I'll take care of everything.
Good.
You'll have your own men there, of course, and as an added precaution, I'll see to it that a few policemen are on hand.
Excellent. I can't tell you how grateful I am to you, Holmes.
Not at all, Sir Ronald.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.
You'll forgive me bothering you like this, but
yeah.
I'm sure you understand the emergency of the matter.
Certainly, Sir Ronald.
Thank you again. Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye, sir. Ronald.
Goodbye.
How do you do, Miss Brandon?
How do you do? Will you excuse me, please?
Port Authority, Pier 9.
Yeah.